What's up, fake book? I keep forgetting that I can go live. Go live on all these platforms from my phone. I'm cruising down here. I can't flip the camera though. That's one thing I don't like about this. I cannot flip the camera. Let me get back to comments. So, man, look at this. Beautiful out here this morning. It's Texas Tuesday. They canceled some of the auctions yesterday. I don't know that they canceled them all. It was basically a county by county decision, from what I could tell. And I'm not real sure. Not real sure if the ones we were planning on going to, they got canceled or not. I haven't done a lot of research on it, so I'm about to go do it right now. I'm currently looking for deer right now, though. Um, but I was up this morning, and I was up real early, and man, like, I'm so I'm so disappointed in the entrepreneurial leadership, the people that we look up to as real estate investors and stuff like that. Like, so I consume a lot of Gary V content. I consume a lot of Grant Cardone content, and the global pandemic, everything that's going on in the world is impacting everybody's business. It's making it real hard for real estate investors. A lot of the newbies, I don't even see any effort from the newbies because now, um, your skill set kind of gets exposed real hardcore when there isn't a bunch of sellers in the market, when you can't fire a whole bunch of shots when inventory is low, and you actually got to go in with a skill set and solve a problem. For instance, one of the deals that we're working on right now, we're having to solve a bunch of title issues on. So we're actually able to provide the value that the seller needs that other people might not be able to. And then the deal that we're closing on this week, he had wholesalers lock his properties up for a while, um, and they could never get them sold. Um, that's a sore subject for me. But anyways, so he's selling us one of his properties, and he's going to let us buy the other ones after we get closed on this. So I mean, to me, this morning when I was up consuming my morning content, looking for motivation, it was hard to find. Um, Grant Cardone is somebody that I look up to. Has a tremendous amount on his Instagram. I guess he's still putting out new and fresh content on Instagram. I think he's on vacation with his family right now. That's good. He's talking about it somewhat. He's, staying positive. There's an interview of him and Tim Story that's really good that I watched on one of my drives. And he's kind of talking about some of the issues that people are facing right now, some of the struggles in business, some of the struggles in life, some of the world events that are happening with the riots and the things like that. I mean, he talks about it. Gary V, you know, I love the fuck out of Gary V. Gary V has always said that if anybody who looks like you has done it, then you can do it. And I firmly believe that. I think that message, if that message was true in 2017 when you're standing on stage saying it, then it's not true today. I mean, 2020 and 2017, other than the noise in the atmosphere, not that much has changed for most people. I mean, you could lose your job. The government could have shut down your business. There's all sorts of things that could have happened to you in the last however many months that nobody really expected it to happen that way, but it still happened. You know what I mean? And you still get to respond. You still get to pick how you respond to it. And that's always kind of been Gary's message. And this morning, whenever I dove into some of his content, some of the stuff that he's creating right now, one of the things that he said that just kind of floored me. It's like, uh, we are only as happy as our least happy human. Um, and I don't get it, because the reason why I don't get it is if somebody has gone to Iraq and fought in a war and has all these terrible experiences and has all this weight that they carry, and they're really torn up about some of the things they had to do, and all of that. You know, I cannot lift them up. I cannot build them up. I cannot make them better by going down to their level. I just can't do it. So the when I was listening to this, I was like, why is this the message? Why is this the current message that Gary Vee would be portraying, to his audience, that you can only be as happy as the least happy human in the world, or in the country, or in your house, or however that is, how whatever that message was. How can that be the truth? Like, how could you ever expect to lift people up by sinking down to their level? You've got to show them the way to go out and make it happen. You've got to show people. You've got to be a beacon of hope in a world of darkness. It's like I'm sitting and I'm watching that, and it just kind of hurt my heart, because it's like, uh, you know, I looked at some of Gary's other content. He's been putting out a ton of new content on YouTube and everything else. He's been doing these talks every day, and is there value in it? I'm sure there's value in it. I just don't have 5 or 10 hours to watch it. But one of the things that I look at and go through whenever I'm trying to get motivated in the morning is, how are other people responding? How are people that are at a higher level than me responding to this adversity? And when I see Gary's message change so drastically, I'm like, is there something? Is there something in his life? Is it because he can't go out and speak on stage? Is it because he doesn't have that human interaction, because everything has to be done from a camera, because Gary lives in New York, New Jersey, or somewhere up there where I don't know what their state is, if they can even go out to eat or any of that. I don't know what's going on there. But is that what's causing the effect for him to say that we can only be as happy as our least happy human? When I think, if we're going to build people up, if we're going to lift others up, we have to do it from a beacon of hope. Like, we can't ignore what's going on in the world. That's not what I'm saying. But the message has to be clear and concise. If I sit around every day and I consume content that tells me, um, the world is a bad place, and that it's going to, like, if I dive into every conspiracy theory that's out there, and I sit there and I consume every conspiracy theory all day, I'm gonna go fucking insane. It's gonna literally rot my brain. And I just don't need to spend a lot of time doing that. If I'm looking at the entrepreneurs in the world that want to say, oh, I'm going to be big, and I'm going to be great, and I'm going to be wonderful, and I can help you with your business, and there's no government that can ever affect your business or ever affect how it goes, then if that's my previous message, how does it go so far south so quickly? Overall, I think there's a huge void in everybody's life right now. We haven't had sports in a long time. We don't get to go, yeah, interact with people. So if we only read the news and everything else, it'll trick us into believing the world's a bad place. But whenever I'm here in my hometown and I go to the grocery store, everybody's still nice and cordial. When I go out and I interact with, strangers at their house trying to buy their property, everybody's still nice and cordial. When I'm at the gas station and I talk to somebody, even though we all have masks on, everybody's still nice and cordial. So the message that I see portrayed on the news doesn't exactly match up with what I see in my life. As far as business goes, I think a lot of people in the last however long it's been, 4 or 5 or 6 months, kind of checked out, and I think some of the reasons why are legitimate, some of them aren't. But for me, it's like, I wish the leaders of the entrepreneur world were out with a more positive message. I wish they were out in the forefront, talking about stuff in their actual business, actually diving into the details of some of the decisions they're having to make. I understand why Grant can't get into a lot of that. I would love to know how Grant's rental portfolio is doing right now. I would love how to see how he responds to Trump talking about putting in an executive order, getting rid of evictions. I would love to hear those current opinions come out, but that's not what I'm getting. I don't get that. What I get is either recycled content, a change in narrative, a change in position, and a bunch of stuff that's really not applicable. So my message to anybody that's watching this right now, um, you know, if there's ever a time to be 6 inches in front of your face and focus on the next task at hand, it's now. If you're looking for motivation, inspiration, and stuff like that, um, it might be hard to find. So if you need that sort of thing in your life, like I do, you're going to have to scour the whole World Wide Web for it. You're going to have to probably go pick up an old book, because the current times, everybody, everybody is struggling. And since everybody is struggling, that's what they're putting out into the atmosphere. And when they put it out into the atmosphere, you consume it. What do you think? You believe, you hear. So, and if you need to get your skill set up, and you're taking time off, go into some old content. Go become a savage. Go back and learn a new skill while you're down. So, anyways, I just thought I would rant about that. I was gonna do this big video. I'm about to go into the office, and I'll be right back on here, showing some of this tax sale stuff that we're about to go do. But I was gonna do this video where I showed the different links and different things that I was watching this morning, but I was just so sad and depressed about it that I figured it would do me no good to show those videos. So anyways, I'll see y'all.